Greetings and salutations, gamers. Welcome back to the Gaming Butler news channel. A rather large developer note was dropped on the 8th and seems to be equal parts acknowledgments in the upcoming patch on the 15th and a bit of a roadmap. If you would like to receive updates on Marvel Future Revolution content, please like this video, subscribe, and ring the notification bell, setting it to all. With that said, let's get to the news. First and foremost, the folks over at Netmarble wish to extend their thanks for all the feedback, and they want to reassure players that everything is a go for the patch going live on the 15th, with the usual caveat that they will communicate any delays. When this patch hits, Magic's costumes and Omega cards will not be available for transmutation purposes, but it is a planned addition to the game at some point in the future. And possibly the best news of all, confirmation that we will be getting a new additional character slot to use for Magic. This is a very welcomed piece of news, as many of us who have leveled all existing characters to boost squad level and power have been left with 0 slots. This issue started when Netmarble realized that people were deleting characters and leveling them again to boost squad levels. They turned off the ability to delete characters, leaving many with the worry that no new slot would be available and thus missing out on the opportunity to play the first new character since launch. Today, that worry has been absolved. Let's talk about Training Grounds. The December update will feature a new game mode called Training Grounds. This addition to Marvel Future Revolution will be a way for players to acquire costumes, cores, companion shards, potential reports, and experience. As such, experience will no longer be available in Dark Zone, which will hopefully be the much desired upgrade to the leveling process the player base has been asking for. Training Grounds will be something you can do at any point during the week and not another daily requirement. A new epic invasion is on the way. This update brings a new invasion, one that will introduce 6 classic well-known supervillains, but ones we haven't seen before. Since the Sinister Six is a well-known group, the new Spider-Man movie No Way Home is quickly approaching, and featuring several members of the Sinister Six, it's a fair bet that these are the unnamed supervillains from the developer note. Additionally, with this new invasion brings improvements to the way points are earned. In addition to raw damage, players will now also accrue points from damage taken as well. Another welcome change, and hopefully the first of several improvements over time. Targeting is also about to receive some love. Coming in the December patch is a much needed improvement to the way that enemies and other players in PvP are targeted. Going forward, the system's default condition will be to select the enemy at closest distance to the hero rather than in front. This should address some of the community's concerns with targeting in Omega War, but I'm not yet convinced it solves all the issues. Final judgment will be reserved until we can test it out for ourselves on the 15th. Next up, Nano Infusion changes. When ranking up your gear using the Nano Fusion system, you can now combine gear at various stages of Nano Fusion to create the appropriate powered item. As an example, if you used a Stage 2 and combined with a Stage 3, they would create a Stage 6. In case you're curious, the way that math works out in that scenario is a 2, a 3, and +1 level of improvement to get to Stage 6. It should be noted that Stage 6 is the max, so if you tried, for example, to combine a 2 and a 5, you'll get a warning message about the overage. And now for some good news on Omega cards and companions. Another request since the soft launch was for Omega card presets. Netmarble has done one better, seeing the need for the same thing with the new companion system. Presets will now be available to easily switch between Omega cards and companions for the various game modes where a different loadout is advantageous. Dark Zone is getting a few updates. Let's take a look. Dark Zone has been a pain point for players since the game launched, requiring an hour each day to claim points toward a weekly total and quests. Additionally, the leveling experience from 100 to 110 currently requires Dark Zone experience farming. The changes coming in the next patch indicate that the playtime requirement will be reduced and an enhanced focus on cooperation and competition, and most notably, no more experience will be awarded in this game mode going forward. Training Grounds will take on the responsibility of providing the experience needed to get players to level 110. Due to this change, the non-PvP channels will be completely removed. Rather than the hot time that the Dark Zone currently employs for double points, there will now be time slots. Alliance Omega War is also seeing some alterations. During the beta of Alliance Omega War, 20 players were needed to participate. That is now being lowered to 16, 8 on each side. The change is intended to allow more alliances to participate. Spec Ops has some updates worth mention as well. Players will no longer receive extra points for getting rank 1 in special operations. This change is to remove the scenarios where some players who were not on pace to achieve the first place bonus giving up on the run entirely. Players will be able to more quickly slot companions, as well as designate the number of selection boxes you want to open at any given time. And lastly, a red dot will designate Nano Fusion targets during the gear upgrade process. The developer note went on to talk about elements of the game they are looking into but will not be part of the December update. Netmarble acknowledges the frustration of failing to upgrade specialization points and are actively looking into improvements. Regarding PvP content, the developers are seeking to update the participation, victory, and defeat rewards along with the weekly ranking rewards. They're also working to improve matchmaking for power levels and looking at elements such as guard breaks, dodges, and targeting. This bodes very well from an awareness standpoint, and hopefully this portends meaningful change in the not-so-distant future. Regarding Omega War and Alliance Omega War, Netmarble will be attempting to level the playing field with specific regards to the advantage that flying characters have over those who can't fly. On the companion front, for the players that are at maximum upgrade status, Netmarble is working on a system that will have use for the shards above and beyond what's currently needed, so that they will not go to waste, instead continuing to have value. That's all we have for today, but stay tuned for more information as we find it. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell to get all the latest news on your favorite games, and leave us a comment with your thoughts and speculations. All the links from this video, along with the poll, are below in the description. Thank you, and see you next time. I write this stuff, you know. You would think I know what it says. Once more into the breach, dear friends. What exactly is a gaming butler anyway? Can you imagine some guy just sitting there? Yes, sir. Will you be enjoying some Doom Eternal this evening? Although that does sound pretty great now that I think about it. I know you've come to expect better from the Gaming Butler news channel, but I can assure you, there isn't any better. This is it. Last time I checked the dictionary, competition wasn't a word. Good evening, sir. Is World of Warcraft on the docket for this evening?